Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one. This will be a quick hit. Jacob, whom I've chosen. You see, the Lord has a certain nation. There's one nation that the Lord is dealing with, and they're the chosen people, the chosen nation. You see, of this planet. And it is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and those to the scattered flock, and to the other nations across the world that look like the other nations, that are Israelites. You see, the Lord is dealing with the nation of Israel. And you have these other nations, that are going to be destroyed, and they're going to be brought into captivity, and they're going to serve YAHAWAHSHI in the nation of Israel. They're going to be servants unto the tribes, the 12 lost tribes of Israel. The other nations are going to serve Israel and YAHAWAHSHI. This is the next phase going into the kingdom, and it's going to be like that forever. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we're going to be kings and priests and, complete royalty. All this hard living and suffering and being on the bottom for moons after moons, been in bondage and beaten down, and eating horrible food, poison foods, and just the living. It's not gonna be that in the kingdom. The Lord's he's gonna bless Israel beyond their comprehension, beyond what you think. You can't even think of how YAHAWAHSHI, how the Lord's going to bless you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Israel, the nation of Israel, how he's going to bless us in the kingdom. All this stuff that we got going on is in this world, in Esau's kingdom, because this is Esau's kingdom. This is the so-called Caucasian white people. This is their kingdom. This is their world. They are in rulership. They own everything. They own it. They're on these so-called white people, white folks, Caucasian, Esau, Edom, Idumea, Aisha. They're in the ruler seat. You see, they're sitting on they're the king. They're the king of the earth right now, without a question. Without a question, they dictate policy. They control the governments all across the globe. The strongest military. The most popular place. Ultimately here in America right now. They're in complete control of the policies around the world, man. You see, without a question. So they're going to be removed from rulership, and they're going to try to fight it out with the um, with Israel, and ultimately with YAHAWAHSHI when he gathers, the nations, uh, uh, Esau and the nations down there in that valley of Jehoshaphat for that third world's war, WW3. The Lord's going to slaughter all these armies, all of them, every single last one of them. He's going to slaughter America's army, Israel's army, China, Russia, Turkey, Iran, uh, 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 Ethiopia, Libya, every single army that's in this world. The Lord is gonna turn their armies into dust. You see, there's gonna be one. There's gonna be one nation that rule this whole universe, this whole planet, and it's gonna be the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the 12 lost tribes of Israel. You see, and people, Israel's so beat down and so thrown into the corner and just castrated and tore up and been on the bottom for just years. It's just so bad. The Lord and beat us into so bad. We don't know who we are. We don't know who we are, where we come from. We've been tricked. We've been lied to, pushed away, and tricked. But the Lord makes that clear. He's dealing with Israel. So let's get to the scriptures. You see, um, let's go to Job. I'm gonna go to Job. Esau and the other nations, they have just, you know, but the Lord let that happen because we didn't listen. We didn't listen. You know, we didn't listen. We went off. Our forefathers went off. You know, they went in the way of the heathen. You see, you went in the way. Our women are all. Look at the way the women act. Jake women act. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, a lot of you Negro women, it was something I was looking at. I think it's what, under 30, it's somewhere around there. But dang near 50% of Negro women, they're not even married. They've never been married. So supposedly, as far as according to this world, getting a ring, wedding, and stuff like that. I think it's like 30 and under. 30 between. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a number like that, where Jake ain't married like that, man. They're the women are totally castrated. They're gone. You know, and then we've been put on. We're on the bottom, man. We just been put on the bottom, and these so-called white people, these Caucasians, they are on. They've been on top. They're they're doing all the manner of wickedness and corruption, and they've been getting away with it. How does that sound as a nation? You look at the corruptions, the scandals, that's going on with these politicians and high-powered, leaders that are of Esau, Edom, and the other nations, but ultimately Esau, Edom, and just been getting away with it. You've been getting away with it. Now the Lord said he's a righteous God, man. He's righteous. How does that how does it sound for to watch this go on for over and over and over, and you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are just completely oppressed? It's not hard to see. It isn't hard to see who's oppressed, who gets gunned down and accused falsely and thrown in prison for anything, for stealing you get 10 years. Jake will get 10 years for stealing a candy bar. just completely, just there's no justice, man. But this is what the Lord said. I'm going to scatter you into all parts of the earth, and you're going to go into captivity. You're going into captivity, and you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer because you don't listen. And still to this day, right here in July 2022, Jake still don't listen, and they don't believe they don't read the Bible. They don't believe what thus said the Lord said. They believe everything these white people say, and you're being ruled over by those that don't like you, man. They hate you. But I've been going on long enough. Job 12 and Job 12 and 14, and this is what he's doing right now to this kingdom, to this place, America, and across the world, because he's going to destroy this Babylon system, man. Everything that these white folks and these other nations have set up, and they got going on and trying to build their AI cities, and all this wickedness they got going on, trying to control and be tyrannical, these unrighteous decrees. The Lord's about to destroy this, man. All of it, because it's wicked. Job 12 and 14, and it reads, we're watching this right now before our eyes, this system being destroyed right before our eyes. Call halal Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. Call halal Yimlah Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. Job 12 and 14, and it reads, behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. If you look at all the kingdoms and all the rulers from thousands of years ago, what happened? What happened? The Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persia, the Greece, that King Arthur, all of them, the Roman Empire, which we're on the last leg, but it's it's not like how it was. This is the last leg of man's rulership, but in all times past, the other nations and that Roman Empire, we're on the last leg right now. They're on the last. Esau is the last empire that's ruling right now. You see, and is going to be destroyed. This is it. But all the kingdoms, all the leaders, and that in times past have set up their kingdom, and even Egypt with Pharaoh, all down the line, the Lord has destroyed. He's destroyed it. And that's why he say, behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. None of those places are up. That if we look through history, it's all been torn down. It's not been built back up. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. You see, so the Lord, he tells you in that Obadiah, that Esau is going to be cut off forever, man, forever. They're scrambling, trying to figure out about these UFOs. There's just no answer for those so-called UFOs, for the Elohim, the angels that are in those vehicles, man. There's no, they have no question. They have no answer for that. Nor do you have any answer for the Lord when he come back. Spiritually, like like he says, I'm going to do all to my pleasures. You see? And that's what the Lord is doing. He said he's going to destroy this place, man. It will not be inhabited ever again. America will never be inhabited ever again. Right along with some of these, with these nations. It says, It says, he's 19. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. You see, all these princes and kings and and Esau's the mighty. He's gonna overthrow them. 23. It says 23. He increaseth the nations. He increaseth the nations. He's the nations have it all. Ultimately, Esau, Edom, they have the power. These so-called white folks, these white people, they have the power, man. They have the money and they have the power and they have the technology. You see, without a question, without a question, you so-called Negroes, you don't have the money and the power. You don't have it. You Latinos, you don't have the money and the power. You Native Americans, Indians, you don't have the money and power. You are not in rulership. You're not in rulership, man. We're not. We are not in rulership. That so-called white man, Esau, Edom, they're in power and rulership right now, without a question. You see, but the Lord said, he said he increaseth the nations. You look at the billionaires that are around the world. You have, I think it's what, China at number 1, and then Russia or America at 2. You know, they got like 30, China got like 30 some billionaires. America's right a couple behind them. If not, they may be number 1. I know for sure though that you Negroes, you niggas and you Latinos and you Native American Indians, you're not even in the top, you're not even in the top 20, the top 15, top 20. You're not in there. You're way at the bottom. But that's okay though, because the Lord is going to, like he just said, he increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. And that's what he's doing. And that's what he's doing. Everything that they done built up and you know, their business wise, and the Lord is going to destroy this world, man. He's all everything that these Esau and these other nations have built up. You know, these cities, you know, different buildings and stuff, all that's coming down. The Lord said he increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations. The nations, they got all type of new technology facilities, and you know, Esau got Area 51 up there in that Chinny Mountain. These certain, you know, just all type what is that that location where the presidents and all them going in the Colorado and the Rocky Mountains up there. You know, they got all these, you know, the Beverly Hills, the over there in Europe. They just have all these places, man. You so-called Negroes, you don't have stuff like this. You just don't. It's a fact. You know, you go inside a lot of these places, the majority of the rich and wealthy, and you know, it's Esau and these other nations. You see, it ain't you Jakes, man. But the Lord, like he said, that's okay, because he's going to destroy this place, man. He increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighten them again. You see? So let me go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 41 and 8. And it reads, Isaiah 41 and 8, and it reads, But thou, Israel, but thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, Jacob, whom I have chosen. Jacob, the Lord chose Jacob, not Esau, not you other nation, not Ishmael. You know, he didn't. The Lord said Jacob, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed, the seed of Abraham, my friend. 9. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth. We've been taken from away from Israel all the way over here to the Americas. That's on the other side of the world, and we've been castrated and shackled up and beat down in all nations. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant. I have chosen thee. I have chosen thee, and cast thee and not cast thee away. See, the Lord, he, like he said, and this goes down to the elect of Israel, the elect, the 144,000. You know, there's what, 10 billion people on this planet, and he said only 144,000 is gonna make it out of that Israel, the elect. There's gonna be a lot of death come, man. It's a lot of death that's coming. A lot of death. He said, and not cast thee away. You see? So the remnant, he's raising up the remnant right now. He's setting them in order right now. Call Allah YAHAWAHSHI. Lord willing, I'm part of the hopeful elect. Call Allah YAHAWAHSHI. Baba Kusha. Baba Kusha. Baba Kusha. YAHAWAHSHI. 10. Fear thou not. Fear thou not. For I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand. The right hand. The righteous of my righteousness. 11. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. It says, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. And you see, and that's what's going to happen, because a lot of the nations and the people, even Jake, you know, they you know, try to warn them and tell them on who the people of the Lord is, and they shake their head. They fan their hand at it. Nope, nope, no way, no way. You know, talk bad about Jake, didn't put Jake in the worst places, and just took full advantage and furthered the affliction. You know, and the Lord's telling them, man, and that's what He's gonna do. It's gonna be people are gonna be ashamed, because they cannot believe on who the real Jews are and who is Israel. You so-called Negroes, you brown dark-skinned people, you who they call niggas and niggers. Those are bywords that we've been called throughout time. You know, still to this day in July 2022, you brown, dark-skinned, so-called Negroes, you know, are the Jews. You're the real Jews. Those Jews, those fake Jews over there in Israel, in the land right now, where they're in the Holy Land, where they're in the Holy Land celebrating, having gay parades. Those are not the real Jews. That's Esau, Edom over there, man. They've lied. And see, and the world is going to be ashamed. This world's going to be ashamed. But he said, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing. You see, they shall be as nothing. And they that strive with thee shall perish. It says, 13, for I, the Lord Yahweh, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Call Allah YAHAWAHSHI. You see? And you know, this we're watching this unfold, man. There's nothing anybody can do. You know, you have all these different people coming out trying to debunk, you know, this word, the Hebrew Israelites, this truth. You know, you're not you're these are the words of the Lord that you're fighting up against. You're kicking against the bricks, man. You know, it's like taking your shoes off and kicking against a brick wall. Taking your shoes and socks off and kicking against a brick wall. You even have Jake in these Christian churches, you know, they just can't believe the Hebrew Israelites. You know, and it's not, it's these aren't our words. This is the Bible. This is the words of the Lord, of YAHAWAHSHI, the Son, on who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. You see? You see? But like he said, they're going to be ashamed, man. You're going to be ashamed and confounded and be as nothing. And like he said, Jacob, whom I have chosen. The Lord has a chosen people. And it's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Period. There's no other way around this, man. Like he said, though you're going to be ashamed because you couldn't believe it. You couldn't believe it. And he's destroying, he done built this place up. You know, Esau done built this, you know, all their kingdom and, you know, their technology and all their entertainment and businesses and, you know, they done built it up. And the Lord, we're watching this right now unfold by the Lord tearing this down. You got more fires, earthquakes, just like how he said, man, like just like how he prophesied in Matthew 24 and in Luke 21, if I'm right. Quote me if I'm wrong. But just like how he said, man, the famines, that we're just watching the society collapse, man. You know, and this is beautiful. This is beautiful, you know. Because the Lord meant every word, man. The Lord's word is pure. He meant every word in this Bible, man, in this book. And like he said, those that don't believe, you're gonna die in your non-belief, man. So, you know, I just wanted to touch on that, and Spirit hopped on me. But hopefully you're edified. Adawan Ratazah come back with another lesson, but I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Shalom, Israel.